want to at least maintain that. But जज्बात थोड़े ऐसे हैं कि अभी फर्स्ट सेकंड किए बगैर जाना नहीं है. We really want that title.
एंड फैंस की भी वही उम्मीद रहेगी कि पहले तो स्क्वाड की
बिल्कुल.
पैक में इंटरनेशनल पाकिस्तान का रिप्रेजेंटेशन आप उन्हें दिलवाए. So yeah, I hope you can get it done.
Yeah, man.
But I do want to ask you guys a little bit more about yourselves. Because, of course, as managers, as coaches, a lot of you becomes about your team. So, yeah, ma'am, I want to take this opportunity to try and talk a bit about your personal self. So, I'll start again with you, Khaushi. So, I want to know, like, how did you come to be a manager? A lot of people DM me asking, like, how you become a caster, how you become an analyst, stuff like that. So, what is it like becoming the manager or even being the support staff for a team in general, like helping them with all of these things?
Well, I started out my career as an esports tournament organizer. It was mostly Dota 2. Then I was like sick of the quality of gameplay and the teams that were kept breaking up, having roster shuffles. So I decided to manage all the top 16 teams, which kept on coming to my line events. And managing 16 teams at one time, and then progressing to managing the top Pakistani team at full heartedly. Then I mean, it just showed me we're not that far away from breaking through, international tournament barriers. So in Dota 2, I found success in the Pakistani scene. I moved to CSGO. That was pretty much a flop. I just want to forget about that. Then right after CSGO, I took off with Valorant. I was with Shooter, Gunner. They were in my CSGO lineup before. I had Storex as well. We had Pokemon playing for us as well. So just buck up like 5-time back-to-back winners. Just buck up 6 was just a sad deal. We don't talk about that anymore. And yeah, then we had VCC, that spark of hope. We're actually making a difference in the scene. We're not that far behind with the entire South Asian scene. So yeah, I feel pretty good. Where we are right now.
Yeah, that's a really inspirational story, I think, for every single fan out there, especially all of the, like a lot of fans from Pakistan are always wondering, like, how do we make it? But we're talking about being an inspiration, Vatsal. One of the first players to represent India in esports internationally, one of the team support staff for the Valorant team to represent India internationally. You've been through it all. So, like, do
Yeah,
tell me, what is that esports career like?
it's been a nice journey since I represented India in the World Cup. So ideally, I would say I started playing Overwatch in I think 2017 or 16, and that's when I made a team with my fellow friend from Delhi itself. So my goal back then was just playing and grinding it down and being the best in the region, and we did it. But we never, when we were playing professionally, we never had that org support or anyone guiding through how we have to manage things in a team. And that's when I learned, you know okay, I was a player, I was playing, I was competing. For every player, it's always being, you have to be the best version of themselves, and you have to help your team as well to be the best team, right? That's what a team player does always. But once my last tournament was the World Cup, which I played in California, and after that, I was more like, ठीक है, अभी I think it's time for me to have that transition from being an esports player to managing a team and providing those individuals those things that I couldn't get when I was a player, like all the support, the guidance, and everything which I couldn't get. So that was the goal primarily of me switching from being an athlete to managing teams, and it kept going on, and it's been going good. It's been going good, yeah.
How did you know when you had to make that transition?
Uh, so ideally in 2019, the Overwatch scene specifically in India wasn't that great. So for me, it was more like, ठीक है, if I'm investing so much time into this, maybe if I would invest that same time into things which I could do, which would help an individual or it would help an athlete to be a better version of themselves, why not?
Oh, that's again really, really inspirational. I think for all the players who always wonder, like, when do we find the right balance, and how do we progress from being just players? Because of course that is a limited time frame. But UFO, coming to you, I know for a fact you're literally everything for VLT. You're a cook, you're a handless, you manage everything, you're the PC assembler. When I was there, you used to help me out too. Like anything and everything that needs to be done at VLT is done through you. So
Yes.
how is that like amount of work dealt with on a daily basis? Like आपका दिन कैसा रहता है?
बढ़िया रहता
And
है
content
usually.
creator, I forgot. And content creator.
So it's मतलब काफी नॉर्मल से रहता है, I've done a lot of things in my life, like मतलब जितना अभी जिया है, जितना सब कुछ किया है, मतलब किसी भी चीज के लिए ना नहीं किया आज तक कि if it's cooking also, स्कूल के टाइम में नॉन गैस कुकिंग है खेलते हैं, फुटबॉल है खेलते हैं, बास्केटबॉल है खेलते हैं, और क्या करना है, ड्रेसिंग करवाना है वो भी करते हैं, फैशन शो करना है चलो वो भी करते हैं, तो सब करता रहता था. फिर आई डिड मैनेजिंग वाला स्टफ. मैंने आई गॉट इनटू बिजनेस काफी टाइम पहले. काफी लोगों को नहीं पता, आई वाज इनटू टूरिज्म इनिशियली. सो इंटरनेशनल टूरिज्म का काम करता था, तो वहां से मेरे को मैनेजमेंट, टूर गाइडिंग, दिस दैट, मैनेजिंग पीपल, हैंडलिंग पीपल बेसिकली, राइट, कॉर्पोरेट स्टफ, ये सब सीखा. आई डिड अ कॉर्पोरेट जॉब ऑल्सो. तो वहाँ पे मेरे को और भी टेक्निक, मतलब जो टेक्निकल पार्ट है ऑफ द इंडस्ट्री, वो काफ़ी कुछ सीखने को मिला. 20 months आई डिड जॉब, वहाँ पे काम किया. प्लस पैरेलली 10 साल से खेल ही रहा था मैं काउंटर स्ट्राइक एंड एवरीथिंग. सो आई हैड दैट, मतलब सब चीज़ का एक नॉलेज था, तो बस वैसे करके चलता रहा ना. वीएलटी में गॉट द अपॉर्चुनिटी, तो तब से तो बढ़िया ही है. आप तो थे, यू वर अ पार्ट, सो यू हैव सीन, यू हैव बीन देयर कि कैसा चलता है यहाँ पे. सो इट्स ऑल गुड. मतलब ऐसा कोई टफ नहीं है. मतलब इट्स माय कंफर्ट जोन वर्किंग. मतलब कोई टास्क रहता है या कुछ काम रहता है तो मैं खुश होता हूँ कि हाँ भाई कुछ करने को है मेरे लिए. नहीं रहता, बैठा हूँ. अभी आजकल थोड़ा स्ट्रीम भी कर लेता हूँ ज़्यादा, मेकिंग आउट टाइम फॉर इट. काफ़ी कुछ ऐसा सब कुछ एक एक सेट पाथ कर दिया हर चीज़ के लिए, तो मेकिंग आउट टाइम फॉर एवरीथिंग विच इज़ पॉसिबल. सो यस, वैसे ही है.
Yeah, it's really cool. I think, like you said, just doing everything, but also being really good at everything. That is what sets you apart. So kudos for that. But
Thank
talking
you.
about being really good, Vibe, everyone's now like it was the thing in CS:GO. Now with Enigma and Valorant, it's just been widely accepted that you're the golden boy of the Indian FPS scene. Whatever you touch, like you have the Midas touch, and you've been able to bring this level of brilliance to every team you've been in. So does that add pressure at all, like to who you are personally?
Thank you, first of all, but no, not at all. I don't see a reason to be pressured because for me it's just like, let's show what I can do. Like, it doesn't matter to me what I did in the past. It matters what do I do next, basically. So, I'm not scared to be like underperforming, being worse than before. I want to show that I can do more, whatever it is. I'm not scared to. You can only have pressure if you're scared to fail, basically. And I don't feel that way. So I'm excited to show I can do more and those kind of things.
Was that the same idea when you first shifted to Valorant with Enigma, like coming to the project itself?
It's zero pressure. Actually, in hindsight, I was thinking there's a way I could feel pressure. Okay, in CSGO, I was very successful, and now I have to prove the other people I'm still successful, but it never came to my head. I was like, I have my goal. I want to do my thing. I don't care what other people really think. So, yeah. And so far, it
Yeah,
worked out for me.
you just work, right, and you get it done. I
Yeah.
guess it's
Yeah.
honestly like very inspirational as an analyst myself to see someone who's like, I'm focused on my work. And I think I take that away from every single one of you guys. The idea that you take something, you put it to your mind, and you just get it done, like no questions asked. And you're literally the backbone of your respective organizations, because without that, suddenly maybe the team would still be performing, but maybe the organization would not. Maybe the players would not get the food they want, or the scrims they want, or the timings they want, or there's so many different things that the public doesn't get to know, but you guys take care of it. So hey, props for that. But enough of that. We have some really cool clips to show you guys and ask you how you felt going through it. So let's head on over towards that clip segment and have a look at our first clip. So maybe this one's for you. It was quite a dominating show in that first map against Exploit in the first day, I believe this was. Sorry, the second day. But the comeback was on. Like Exploit were starting to push
Yeah.
back strong, and it really looked like, especially because of Exploit's strength on the attack, that for a second it might look a little dicey. But then random Thrifty pulled out. Like, how do you like engage with the team in WOD reviews with matters like this? Like, what do you tell them about the mistakes or inherently the correction and stuff like that?
My belief is those kind of plays win you the game. You can always say, oh, you have to play so structured and all those kind of things, but in the end of the day, those kind of plays are actually the turnarounds and those kind of things. So I cannot be like, yeah, do it next time again. It's more like the players feeling confident in doing their plays, I would say. And yeah, I'm watching this like, okay, wow, what the hell is going on? Rofu just amazing plays there, and yeah, it's super hard to win a game when someone is showing up like this in the enemy team.
Yeah. Like a similar level shooter, I think, Khaushi, for you, like that kind of star firepower that he brings, but you didn't have him that day. It was quite unfortunate. I believe he had his exams, so
Yeah,
I believe like it wasn't like Zarya was not great. You know, he was a great player individually. It just felt like the team
you
wasn't
really
necessarily
can't
on the same level.
you really can't expect a substitute. Plus, we didn't have much practice with him. We have to build that comfort level, the calls, the strats. So we went into that match saying, just play your best. We don't care win or lose. Obviously, shooter's not here, so that's gonna definitely make a difference for us. So, and that's what happened in the end. But it's okay. It happens.
Yeah, how do you react after you see Rafael just randomly popping off like that? Just when you think maybe you come back, like is it just like yeah, whatever, go next?
He hasn't faced shooter yet, so yeah. I got
I like
no reaction,
that.
man. No reaction.
All right. Talking about star players facing off, though, Vatsal, you've seen Rafael do this before, even in VCC
Yeah,
1.
yeah.
You know Rossi has done this multiple times. So, what is it like for you? Is it like a normal day now? Like, ठीक है भाई, बहुत सारे अच्छे jet player हैं, सब मारते ही रहते हैं, क्या करें अभी?
So sometimes it's more like, you have to be abhi theek hai, everyone has the textbook play where they'll drone, do this, do that, but unexpected plays gets rewarded. And it also depends on, kitna confidence hai player mein, theek hai. For example, I'll give Rosika. If he gets tagged by a drone, right, he will still peek and kill someone. So it always depends on the confidence of that player. Us time pe, us momentum mein, what he is thinking, and the flow keeps going on.
And if on that note, talking about confidence of a player, it seems like DM is reaching new highs, day by day by
Mm,
day. So,
yes.
from
No,
like the
that,
matchup itself, but what I want to ask you again, like related to Enigma Rafuel, I think,
yes. अपना ही लौंडा है.
and when VLT faced off against Enigma, you guys were sick. Like the players are not feeling well. So, is there any thoughts ki like we want revenge, next time we face off?
रिवेंज नहीं है, देखो सब अपने ही है, दोस्त लोग है, लाइक मोस्ट ऑफ देम आर आर फ्रेंड्स ओनली,
Uh,
राइट? एनिग्मा के लाइनअप में द डील, राइट? सो रॉफ्यूल, ही इज वन ऑफ द फाइनेस्ट, मैकेनिकली स्किल्ड गाइज. बहुत बहुत कच्चा एम है, लाइक एकदम लगते एकदम करारे शॉट्स लगते हैं उसके. सो इट्स नॉट लाइक अ रिवेंज थिंग, बट या वी आर अप फॉर अ गुड शो ऑलवेज. Really happy that it was more of a GVLT scene back then, and now it is all shifting towards God particles coming in, then Enigma popping in right now. So it's good. It's good. Matlab, end of the day, we are also getting more competition, and it's good for the scene, right? The better opponents we face, the better we get. Also, we also have the drive to get better, and then एससीए में भी जाके वही इम्पैक्ट हम लोग दे पाएंगे जब हम लोग आपस में एक अच्छा कंपटीशन बिल्ड करें. तो it's really good. Really happy to see these boys popping off specifically, Anti, Kali, and Rafuel.
Yeah, I love it. I 100% agree too. Like, जब सारे teams बढ़ेंगे, जब ही पूरा region साथ में बढ़ेगा, तो
Yeah.
as a neutral observer मेरे लिए बहुत अच्छा लगता है देखने के लिए. But hey, with that, आपने mention किया कि of course popping off, there is one particular play that blew my mind from the GVLT game. So let's take a look at that DM clip. I don't think कोई expect कर रहा होगा because it's not the classic DM just hitting mechanical shots. It's actually from bind, and this is a diffuse that DM pulled off against all odds. So, what I want to ask you, and I'd actually want to start with you, Vatsal, is like, how do you, go about, say, your WOD reviewing, or say the team has just finished the match and they're all like, huh? I mean, you guys did win the map, but like after rounds like this, not this specific round, also any round like this, which is literally could go any way at any moment. how does it, even as a former player, how do you push back from that? Like, do you just
I
forget it?
think it's all about mentality, how you have to for for every player it's more like okay, that round is done, what's next. It's always you have to focus on what's next, what we gonna do next round. ये नहीं कि पीछे पिछले वाले round में जो भी हुआ ठीक है हुआ, diffuse कर दिया. I knew what was the situation back then, but you can't just be stick to that one thing, right? You have to, and you have other rounds as well. It's not that one round. ठीक है अभी एक round गया, आगे क्या करना, उसके बाद क्या करना है, how we cover up that round. That's the conversation that players have. You can't
Basically,
really do
kaisa bhi
anything,
round
right?
jaye, it is just a
Exactly.
round.
You can't really do anything, right? ठीक है diffuse हो गया. What are we doing next round? How do we take that round away from them? That's what we do.
And like everyone knows DM is one of the best aimers in
Right.
India. It's a common fact. But when you see the team playing so well together to pull off rounds like this, what does that make you feel like?
I'm happy. I'm super proud of them. Abhi, the team is working hard also, and I'm really happy to see Deathmaker doing so good. Like you can see his progress over the period of time, right? Be it with knives, with the agents that he plays, right? Be it race, anything. So really happy, whatever he's doing right now, and overall super happy that the team is finally stable with the lineup that they're playing. So we have this one factor that has been too variable in the last 6 months, right? So currently the current lineup, which is sticking out, कोई issues नहीं है किसी को, so it's good only. Like super happy with the team. Just looking forward कि सब कुछ ऐसा ही चलता रहे. That is the only thing, right? Most of you know COVID हुआ था, so external factors are something that we don't have any control on, right? But yes, it's all good. Happy that Deathmaker is able to show the same set of skills that he had back then during the CS days, right? The one-sided shots that he used to connect with the heads, right? That is coming. So it's not coming, it's already here, I believe. So good for us.
Yeah. And YV, as a coach, I'm assuming you do water review your opponents, like at least some maps. So when you see rounds like this happening, is it just like, yeah, there's no point reviewing this, there's no point analyzing this, go next? Or is there something you still catch out, point out?
No, there's still
in-
always many points, but it's amazing to see Sunny, Deathmaker also, become more smart of this plays, like having really smart decisions and so on. Because first, when I started playing, I used to be in my team, right? And he used to be only the guy who runs here and hedges everybody. And everybody had to make sure, okay, whatever he's doing, we catch up on him and don't let him make mistakes. But now he seems to be a really solid player, and it's amazing to see him grow that way. Yeah. So I'm super happy to see Sunny playing that way also. And yeah, like I mean, there are many points you can take away after all, I think, from rounds like this.
Yeah, and Khaushi, what I want to ask you is like when you see players like this who have grown from almost a prodigious state to where you are now, you already mentioned like people have not faced off against Shooter at their very best. Now from VCC 1 to 2, you guys had a bit of a roster change. I'm not sure if that was good or bad, but what I do notice is that Shooter is now permanently playing that primary duelist role. Do you think that has helped him at all, like grow more as a player, evolve as a player?
I'm sorry, you'll have to repeat the question.
Oh,
That's
that's
lagging
okay.
over here, man.
Yeah, that's okay. So I'm just asking, like, from VCC 1 to 2, you guys had a bit of a roster change. Storax left for abroad, and Shooter since then has taken up permanently the jet role, the primary duelist role. So do you think that's helped him evolve as a player?
Yeah, it's a big responsibility, and he needs, he's working more on playing for the team, and that kind of maturity and that growth that I've seen over 1 year really makes me proud. That this is the same shooter. It's just a really good feeling. He's taken the role pretty well after filling Storex's shoes. I'm just glad how it ended up.
I'm glad you mentioned that he's looking to play more for the team because actually our next clip it's not like some sort of insane head popping clip. It's very much about, let's play that real quick. It's very much, I believe, about the fact about how how Exploit have evolved as a team. That's why even before this I was asking you about the recent coach you guys have got for certain sessions from NA Sexy, and it does feel like
Sexy, yeah.
as a whole, the entire team has become a lot more systematic. Am I correct in that approach? Like,
Yeah,
how is that?
and getting the coach was pretty important. And I came across this guy through Storex as well, because Storex had this team in NA, and he was Sexy was actually coaching them. Storex was like, make the boys get coached by them. I'm like, yeah, for sure. Then I talked with Sexy, and dude, you know what just popped in my mind? Having that North American play style mix up with our Southeast Asian play style and him making magic happen together. Oof, it's working out pretty well. And I'm really confident that, it's definitely the deal breaker here. You know,
Okay.
definitely the top one finish for the team.
I love hearing that type of confidence, honestly, because it shows the belief you have in your boys. But talking about confidence, before I'll ask you, I think you've been through ups and downs. एक point था जब VLT was the team, like unbeaten for longest times. There was a point where unfortunately VLT ऐसे लग रहा था कि वो fire ही नहीं निकल रहा था. थोड़े controversies हुए, ये हुए, वो हुए. But in this time before VCC, you guys were looking for a coach, but Amit Rasu stepped up to the mark. And what is
Yes.
that like within a team where you were looking for a coach, but now you have someone just as experienced filling in? Team के लिए कैसा रहा है?
Team के लिए it has been good only. So the like the entire concept of having a coach was to guide us through the barrier that we are stuck on. But वो stage पे भी जाना पड़ेगा, right? Before, when you know that you have a stagnant gameplay now, कुछ improve नहीं हो रहा है. There's no scope of rectifying mistakes, or the creativity नहीं हो रही है, और सब कुछ stagnant हो गया है. So we had a conversation, we had a discussion, and Amaterasu was like, there's still a lot of things that I can help you fix. I can tell you that, you guys can look at and up wo rectify karo. We'll work on that. We'll see how it works for the team. Results कैसे आते हैं, and उसके बाद भी अगर लगता है तो we can definitely go for that, right? It's not like we cannot have a coach or we cannot uh, get someone. We can, but पहले अपनी गलतियों को खुद से जितना रेक्टिफाई कर लेते हैं तो we'll know where we stand also, right? I think कोच इस गेम में अभी कितना नया चीज लाएंगे is still a question mark to me personally, because the game is super new, right? And these players have been playing the game since the beta days itself, right? तो इनके पास जो सेट ऑफ एक्सपीरियंस है, ये अगर कभी गेमिंग छोड़ते हैं अभी, लाइक दे आर प्लानिंग कि नहीं अब वैलोरेंट से हो गया मेरा, तो ये कोच बन सकते हैं क्योंकि इन लोगों ने शुरू से खेला है. तो वैसा अभी कोई हुआ नहीं है, आई थिंक. सो कोई और, एंड दिस गेम इज इवॉल्विंग, राइट? द मेटा चेंजेस राइट आफ्टर 2-3 months, वट एवर. कभी भी 2 महीने में कोई भी एक अपडेट आता है, बूम, वट एवर यू हैव डन सो गुड खत्म हो गया पूरा, वो पूरा चेंज है. तो I think it's working good only for us, and yes, Amaterasu getting back has helped the team like बहुत अच्छे तरीके से, and सबका मॉरल भी बहुत हाई हो गया, तो it's good. It's a bonus for us to have Amaterasu back.
Yeah, that's lovely to hear. Now, Vatsal, I do want to ask you something, but before I do, I want to show you a clip that I honestly lost my mind while casting it. So let's see that clip real quick. It's SK Rossi Sheriff, but it's not SK Rossi himself. It is Hellraiser with a nutty is. So what I immediately want to start off with is, first of all, is this Sheriff Rossi Sheriff buff, or is of course Hellraiser just getting an opportunity he never gets?
It's crosshair buff, crosshair change. That's what I think everyone keeps saying, right?
Insane मारा था भाई.
Fair
Yeah.
enough, but okay, got to much more like serious question about you guys with respect to G and coaches. Lots of rumors about you all trying out coaches. Even Evok, I believe, tweeted that he was trialing out with you guys, but it did not work out. And at the end, you just decided to continue with, I believe, Rex Dreams now coming back from where he was in VCC 1. So basically, the exact same squad, the exact same organization as it was in VCC 1. So I want to ask you about that process where you were trialing different coaches. And like you first said, maybe they bring knowledge, maybe they don't. Either ways, you stick with what you go ahead that you know, like the known evil almost. So, what is that decision making thought
So
process like?
ideally, I would say we were trialing few coaches, but for us it was more like ठीक है, coach is giving inputs, but maybe it's a risky factor adapting and playing to what he's saying before VCC matches. And I would say thoda it was hurting us. It was because there were a few changes being made in the comp and everything else, right? So how team has been playing and getting a coach on board, trialing a coach on board and seeing if we could adapt and play the same game style during the matches is kind of hard. So that's where we thought, it's better. Let's let Hellranger take the lead, and along with him, Rex streams, and we'll just keep moving forward in that direction because that worked for us and it will work for us now as well. We just don't want to make any major changes which will harm the flow and how do I say
Structure
momentum.
of the team?
Momentum, I would say, for the players before a major event. Nothing else.
Yeah, that's definitely understandable. And YB, on that note, I want to ask you, like, do you feel the timing of you coming into Enigma was perfect, like with respect to the idea that the roster itself had just come together? It was not really during any major tournament; it was before. What do you feel about that?
I don't think there's ever a perfect timing. Because when I first came in, we had official after official. First day I came in, we had won finals, and I didn't even play the game. So,
Oh,
and then again,
PVC, I remember.
yeah, exactly. Like, and no, the timing was awful, and I had similar thoughts you guys sharing right now, and I was like, oh, what is a coach for actually? Yeah, like what is a coach for? A coach is not necessarily, in my opinion, to change the place or anything. The coach, you can have different approaches, but also it's like to help the players break their boundaries. I don't have to make any playstyle changes necessarily. I can help the players find their own playstyle changes, and therefore it will be just the next step. I won't suddenly change. I'll just help them progress. So yes, and that's kind of what I try to focus on. I did some changes in this training schedule, sure, but I don't think this will affect you highly in your performances in matches. So yeah,
So,
I don't think the timing is perfect. I had to overcome my fear a little bit to get involved also, but yeah. So I think everything worked out quite well. Like I was surprised how well it worked out also.
yeah, it was definitely like, I mean, Enigma have been one of the most untouchable teams throughout this VCC, so it did work out well. But I'm curious about that because I remember even when we were talking on my stream, you were educating me really about how the coach's thought process is quite different from what an outsider may think a coach's thought process is. So when you look at players like even Excali for that matter, he stepped in last moment almost for the VCC, but he seems to have come back into the form where a lot of in the last year people used to fear him. How do you make a player like that blossom? I think is the right word. Like, how do you make him open up?
The thing is, I don't know so much about Excali's history. I mean, I know him in CSGO times, and I know him now. And I heard he had some big struggles in the last few months, years, he told me. But yeah, I think it's also important to show him he was able to do all those things, so it's easier for him to go back. If you've never been there, I think it's even harder. But he was there already, so he just has to kind of remember and understand what has he been doing back then. And yeah, I treated him as I think as a player who was really good, and I didn't treat him that guy who failed a lot. I didn't even treat him that way, and yeah, maybe that's what I've done. But in the end, it's him. It's he. He has been doing all the important work, I'd say.
Yeah, and it's been a pleasure to watch every team, right? Like the way Shooter has evolved, the way I would say all of G has evolved, the way DM has come in and just sort of uplifted, like filled into MW1 shoes, which were big shoes to fill in. And of course, like Excali now stepping up, where unfortunately, I believe Hikka just joined the team about last week because of the visa process. So I agree with the entire thought process that right now going into this finals weekend, I have no freaking clue who is going to win it, and I love it. That is the way I want it. But enough of that serious talk. I want to now test your knowledge about the game's lore, almost like the game's story and stuff like that. So
Well, let's go.
let's head on over to the quiz section. Uh, there's some funny questions here. There's some cool questions, but I can guarantee that you will pick up something. So yeah, let's head on over to that section and see that first question come up. And I'd like to see if you guys can even guess because there's going to be options. So there is a 25% chance you inherently guess it right. So first question, which map is also known as S22? So this is a code name for a map that we have in the game. Any ideas?
Breeze.
Split.
I have an idea.
Okay,
Split,
then I'm gonna
maybe?
ask you last one.
Icebox?
Was that Vatsal? Was that Khaushi? I can't see you
I
guys.
think it's Icebox. Not sure.
Okay, I think that was Khaushi, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So Vatsal, UFO, YB, go for it.
Split. Let's go.
I say splits.
Okay, UFO.
Uh, कुछ like you can give some hint, कुछ थोड़ा सा कुछ तो बता दो.
UFO Google
I'll
मत
make
कर.
it easy. There's been two options chosen so far: split and icebox. One of
Icebox,
them is the
icebox.
answer.
Icebox.
All right, right hand side wale icebox, left hand side wale split. It is S22, but it's actually icebox. And fun fact, like you can see this in map while you play the game. It's on the containers, you know, here and
Yeah.
there. So I actually want to ask you guys, like, I know you guys are, whenever you do get to play the game, which I'm assuming is not a lot because you have a lot of work. But do you ever look around, like see all the surroundings, the random ships here and there, the boxes?
The
Yeah, I've
teddy bears,
seen
the
that-
penguins.
Icebox
I
में खाली
realize-
penguin पर बैठे हुए बस. That's the most I've done ever. Nothing
Penguin
else.
OP. Why do you get time to play the game at all?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. I know on the icebox there's all KNG written on the containers, that much I know. But
Yeah.
yeah, of course, I'm in a server, I have to try some stuff, so yeah. But I have actually no idea about the game lore at all.
And Vatsal, what about you?
I have no
Do you
clue.
ever
I
look
just
around?
I love the split map, so I said split.
Hey, fun fact,
I
split is...
remember. I remember
wh-
the all the places are named after are in some city, and I was thinking maybe Split is in some city which started with S. So
Yeah,
I don't know
the
which
logic
which
is
city
very
Split
close.
is. I thought maybe it's Singapore, but actually I don't even know where Split is, like which city it is.
Korea, Seoul, I think.
Also S. Works.
Yeah, it's in Korea. It's in Asia. I think it's Japan, split, and that's why the bullet trains are there, if I'm not mistaken. But it is the headquarters of the Kingdom Corp. The KNG is the Kingdom Corporation, and Split is the headquarters. But yeah, you're right. The logic that every map is a city except Icebox and Breeze now, I guess, and Fracture. Okay, there's a lot more now. But Icebox was the first of a kind, which was not a city, and it had a code name because it was a secret offsite map, whatever. Lots of story that hopefully we get to find out in the near future. But with that, let's head on over to the next question and see what we got. Oh,
Sabine.
this is from Omen's voice lines. Oh, okay. Khaushi.
So, yeah, I think it's Sabine.
It's the...
If everyone feels it's Sabine, I also feel it's Sabine.
Yeah.
हाँ,
Same.
सब मिलके कर रहे हैं
Same. Same.
I mean, yeah, fair enough. But, well, Ivy, did you know this? I don't think you would have known this.
No idea.
It's because you weren't here during the
But I
O-levels.
know,
See, if you-
but I know Viper is from US because
Yeah.
Rishi's like there was some RK was they were talking where's Viper from, but they were talking about the enemy team. Where's the player Viper from? And RK is like Viper is from US. Like, what? Talking about the player, not the agent. So I know that
Oh
much.
boy. Wait, so basically in game there were comms that where is Viper coming from? And RBK is like she's from US.
No, like, they were talking about the enemy team. The enemy team because it was some international lineup, and he was asking where's the Viper player from, which country,
Uh-huh.
and he thought it's talking about the agent.
Fair enough. But Khaushi, am I wrong to assume that you know this because of Omen's voice lines?
No, I'm
Or
actually
you're just interested?
lower junkie for all games, Dark Souls,
Ah.
Bloodborne, Riot. So I'd make
Damn.
time for the lore.
I think
If
you
I had
should
known
give
this, I
Khaushi
would've-
10 seconds cooldown, as soon as the question
Yeah.
I'll answer the
Yeah.
question for you guys. We can win this together.
Yeah.
You know?
Same. We follow Khaushi.
I'll tell you what,
Let's go,
though. I don't think I've for today I actually kept easier questions, but I know one question which is really hard, which I will ask you by myself at the end of it. But yeah, let's go towards the next one and see what it is. Oh, yeah, this was actually one of the hard ones. Okay, thank you, production, for this. So, hey, I'll let you go first, Khaushi. Which LoL
Can you
champion
read it?
statue is on Haven Long? LoL as in League of Legends.
Okay.
I know all the
Look, either
champions at least.
either it's Jinx
Aurelion
or
Sol?
either it's Blitzcrank.
Jinx
Okay,
is
Vatsal says
Jinx.
C.
Jinx feels good. It's
Jinx is an
Bro.
sounds
arcane.
good. Okay.
Aurelion Sol is a dragon, Tom Kench is a frog. I don't remember Ceylon because we banned Heaven. So, कोई नहीं पता Heaven का. Lekin I'm gonna go with 1 or 4, just keeping feet in both ships right now.
I'll tell you what, both 1 and 4 are in the game. I mean, even
Jinx
2 and
to
3
hang-
for that matter. All 4 are in the
Oh,
game,
I think
actually.
it's
But 1
1.
and
I
4
think
you
it's
definitely
1.
have seen.
I think it's
I'll go
All
for
right,
one.
Maybe
Yeah.
with the 1.
I'll go for one.
Vatsal, you said Blitzcrank, right?
1-1. Everyone is going
one
for
or-
one.
I don't
Everyone
even know
wants
where
Let's
this
do it. Let's do it, boys. 1.
Let's go. All 4 of us
Alright,
at
let's
one.
see what the right answer is. It's Aurelion Sol. Yeah. Because Haven Long on the left hand side, there's a dragon. So Khaushi, you were on the right track. It is the dragon.
Oh, where?
But
I've
I'm
never
more
seen it.
curious now. How do you know these champions, Vibe? Have you played League?
Yes, long time back. And then I've played the Teamfight Tactics, so
Team fight.
I know.
I'm definitely going
Nice
to be
game.
sliding. DMs, I've never met someone from Valorant who's played League besides me. But hey, nice to know. I'm glad I threw Khaushi off track for one question. So let's go.
We ban Heaven, man. Map ही नहीं देखा आज तक.
Yeah, fair. But okay, let's go over to the next question. And I think this one will be relatively easier. Yeah, this one is the easiest. So,
Morocco.
No idea.
3.
Khaushi, no.
I think
It's
Canada.
between 3 and 4. I'll tell you guys now itself. It's not France and Canada.
Oh, I thought France.
अरे वो कनाडा भी गया था.
I was about to say France.
Yeah.
I'm
Chamber is
Into
for
Canada.
France.
He went to Canada.
Oh, makes sense.
मैं बोल रहा हूँ.
कनाडा पढ़ाई करने गया था.
हाँ,
मैं गया
कनाडा में
था.
पढ़ाई. कनाडा से गया.
We'll
Yeah,
pick
Morocco
three. We'll
से-
pick three.
I think it's Morocco. I think one guy's from Morocco.
Yeah.
Okay.
Morocco, yeah.
I make this harder. Which map is in Morocco? No, Khaushi, don't
Let's
do
go.
it.
Bind.
No.
Bind.
Dude, man. This is my game.
Fair enough. Well played, Khaushi.
ये
Hey, I hope
ये
that the
knowledge-
rest of you.
कहाँ जरूरत पड़ती है, मुझे भी ये पढ़नी है.
क्या
I need
पढ़नी
to
है?
acquire. ये नॉलेज मेरे को भी एक्वायर करनी है. मैप कहाँ से है, क्यों है.
Reddit. Khaushi, I assume you lurk a lot on Reddit because of that, because that's where I get my knowledge of all of this from.
Nah, Reddit, I just started using recently. It's just flipping around the popular channel, that's it. And otherwise, I have YouTube videos, and you actually can pay attention in the music videos, the videos with normal teasers for agents. You get to learn a lot. The voice lines as well. Every update has a new
Yeah.
voice line, so that's really exciting stuff in the game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah, so
You
they
guys,
progress the story through the voice.
दोनों चलते रहते हैं साथ में.
It's really cool, man. Like, I think I've had several players on for this exact same aftermath. Nobody has any clue, ever. Nobody ever knows what is going on, and they're just like, we know how to play the game. We don't know about the game. That's
I
all.
think Antidote knows. He told me this the lore is good, but
Antidote
I've
actually
actually
guessed
checked
2
all-
of the 4 questions.
oh,
Yeah. We had Antidote on in the first week. The first episode, actually, of Aftermath was with Anti. So, yeah, it's really cool. Wait, I'm curious. I missed the line. You for Canada में कौन पढ़ा?
साइफर गया था. उसने मुझे.
साइफर गया था.
हाँ वो डिग्री करके आया अपना.
Wait,
मास्टर
really?
भी वहीं की है.
वहीं से ना वो देखना ना ऐसे करके लगाता है, कभी कभी ऐसे करके कैमरा लगाता है. It's from there only.
r/whoosh. Oh my god. Oh,
है भैया.
okay. I was genuinely confused because I did actually go to Canada to study. So I'm like, wait, how did this randomly come up out of nowhere? Like, who
दिखा
went to
वो
Canada to
छुपा हुआ
study
था.
what?
He was watching at, looking at you. अरे दूर से देखते हैं इसको.
सही है. सही है. But boy, oh boy. I'm glad we were able to get some laughs during the quiz segment. That's exactly what it's meant for. But we're nearing towards the end of our time with you guys. So I want to take this time to circle back to the people for me who are the reason I'm here, which is the fans of all of you guys. So let's get it started. YB, you tell me any message for all of the many Enigma fans and the new Enigma fans that have come through in this VCC who've seen you. Any message for them and what to expect for finals?
I mean, thank you first of all for all the support. It's amazing. And we hope to show all the fans a good show. I mean, I think it's important to have good matches and good competition, to have some nice matches, and also the players maybe have some amazing highlights. I think it's fun to watch, and yeah, we'll make sure to give our best in the finals. That much I can say. And we
I'll
want to
ask
win.
you Vatsal next. Yeah, because
I
you guys are
think,
playing EG,
yeah.
Oh,
so go for it.
Ideally,
Message and expectations.
ideally for us, it's it's not like AG, G, VLT. I think it's more about doing it for the country. At the end, it's India who will be representing in the challenges, right? So that would be it. And thanks a lot for everyone support करने के लिए. That's all.
Khaushi,
And
let me ask you.
also,
Yeah.
no, sorry, also, I want
No, go for it.
everyone to support all the teams. थोड़ा clean, positive way में. Whoever is
Yeah,
representing
man.
India, just be nice and be positive and leave a nice compliment. It doesn't take much.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I love that.
thank you.
Positive mentality for the win.
PMA
Hey,
always.
Khaushi, I think you've been the most confident throughout this, which is why I'm excited to hear your expectations. But before the expectations, maybe a message for all of the Pakistani fans, the hopes they're carrying with you.
It's the Pakistani fans have been just amazing since like day one of this entire like 6 months period. The whole post VCC one, the support we've had, it's just immense, and I can't thank them enough. You know, in this age of social media, you get done with your scrims and you're scrolling through your Twitter or whatever. I don't believe in social media, but that makes a really good positive impact when you see those well wishes, those good wishes coming towards you, praising you for your performance and hoping that you do well. And it's not only the Pakistani fans, it's like fans all over the world. We have Indian fans, and it's just amazing. And my only wish is that, keep the like chat clean and everything, otherwise you guys make this possible, honestly. The whole game, it's not the teams, it's the viewer support that we have time and time and again, making VCC such a big success and putting us teams on a platform. Nodwin as well, just right in itself as well. So thank you guys, honestly.
And expectations for the finals? What can we expect from Exploit? Anything besides the number one slot?
सरप्राइज देते रहते हैं अभी फिलहाल, लेकिन
Yeah.
नंबर वन इंशाल्लाह मेरी जान, नंबर वन इंशाल्लाह.
Love it. Hopefully surprise package में थोड़ा neon भी होगा क्योंकि neon अभी तक देखने को नहीं मिला है. I've been begging every team. But UFO, let's go with you. Of course, VLT का fan base हम सब जानते हैं. One of the most loving fan bases overall. But of
Yes.
course, अब I want to hear from you, like personally, message for the fans and expectations from Velocity Gaming.
Yeah, सब लोग keep showering the love and the support you guys have been doing since the very start of the formation of the organization. So I want everyone to cheer us up definitely. But yes, I'll agree with the point that Vatsal and everyone picked up. कि you don't have to hate any other team to support one, right? That's the सिंपल एकदम एकदम बाइनरी लेवल पे यही है कि आपको कोई टीम पसंद है, दूसरे को कुछ मत बोलो यार. आप जिसको प्यार करते हो उसको प्यार करो और बस गेम को एंजॉय करो. आप लोग सपोर्ट करो, शेयर करो स्ट्रीम्स को. अच्छा है, अपना सीन आगे ग्रो होगा तो आपके लिए रास्ता खुलेगा. सो यही है, ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं है. और वी विल गिव आवर बेस्ट. आई नो लास्ट टाइम थिंग्स वेंट थोड़ा इधर 19-20 हो गया था, लेकिन अब की बार 19-20 नहीं, 19-21 करेंगे. एंड वील डेफिनेटली ट्राई टू do what we want to, and yes, India को represent करना है अभी Southeast Asian country and stuff. We have a long path. अब ये लंबे सफर को बस we have to play good game, अच्छा game दिखाना है, अच्छा game खेलना है और enjoy करना है सबसे बड़ी बात और let's have a good show. यही है.
I love it. I think thank you so much, every one of you. Positivity is all I got throughout this time I got to spend with you, and positivity is what I hope the fans will take into the finals weekend. But when it comes to the map itself, I want to see every team at each other's throats, just ready to murder each other. I don't think there's a better way to say it. So I'm excited to see it happen, and good luck to every single one of you in your efforts to make it happen. Again, thank you so much for
Thank
making
you.
the time to come here.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
यार क्विज जीते हैं, प्राइस का क्या सीन है?
Yes, let's go. Khaushi pure aftermath ke quiz champion. Nobody goes that good. But anyways, thank you, fans. Big
No,
hearts for
seriously,
you
thank
guys
you for
too.
having us,
And
man.
yeah,
Sure.
my pleasure.
Bye.
But yeah, I will
Bye-bye, guys.
definitely be sliding for that rap.
Thank you.
YV.
Ah.
But yeah, see you
Yeah.
guys later.
All the best, guys. All the best.
All the best. All the
of you.
best.
All the
All the
boys,
best.
Bye.
let's give a good show.
Bye.
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 Oh, what's up, guys? We're back. I guess I'm going to say bye to you one more time before we go. But yeah, big hearts to all of you. Aftermath is 3 times this week, not just once. We have the coaches, then we have the teams following up as well tomorrow and day after. So hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. It's last freaking week of the VCC, man. Get the hype up, and we'll see you going. But yeah, for now, I'm going. Bye.
Chilling in the chair, I'll be sipping it. Watch a bunch of shows, I'm getting it. Yeah, I understand it's a quarantine, I gotta be chilling all alone, but I'm getting sick. People who be running half the office on in politics and scrambling to tell the kid to stop. I ain't gonna leave the room, I don't wanna kill a few with that this shit that is inside my top. Flip the drop, taking it bigger than now, taking it part of the crowd. Don't wanna pop, I don't want anyone down, better be kicking them out. Look at the box, smoking loud up in my damn house. Solo though I know I'm never going on and out. Party on my own now. Look at all the people trying to hold me back, hold me back. Going so loud. Look at all the people trying to hold me back, slow down. Fuck going out, getting high on the weekend. Only now, slow down. Oh, party on my own. Party on my own. I'm doing what I'm doing, I don't got a lot to prove. And if I'm moving, then I'm grooving, cause I wanna do it. Stupid, got my music and I lose it to another tune or two. If I don't get to move it. Even real can do it when I'm cooking, and you know I'm cooking bacon. You don't wanna check under the apron. Vacuum the whole room naked, facing windows so people who out getting the greatness. Telling me better to hate this, really though it ain't shit when you could compare to what the other people facing. So what I am drinking, still half full is true when comparing to the nations. Look at how the people trying to hold me back, going short out. Look at how the people trying to hold me back, slow down. Fuck going out, getting high on the weekend. Tone down, slow down. Oh, party on my own. Party on my own. Party on my own now. Look at how the people trying to hold me back.